Hey, rum and newfound brandy friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Monday, the 11th of December. Time to open another window, is that what we call them? From the Master of Malt. Build your own advent calendar. It's a brown one, or it could be brandy. It could be, we're at 5 all on after 10 days, considering there's only 7 brandies there. I'm going to let that go soon. Right. Ooh, another exciting one. Another one I haven't had for quite a few years, but I'm looking forward to deep diving. There we go. Let's get that up on the close-up. Dictador 12-year-old rum. Now, I must confess, before I started, I niched down on this channel into rum. I'm going back to probably 2018 now for this. 2018, 2019. I'll give you a little backstory. This used to be one of my favourite rums. It was at a time when the UK distributors were Haywards, and this will probably mean nothing to the vast majority of you, but those of you in the industry will kind of understand this. Now, Haywards are the UK distributors for Dead Man's Fingers, now Whitley Neal Gins, JJ Whitley, and a few other sort of brands, and they had this, and Haywards were quite active in this region, in East Anglia in the UK, and we had a few Dictador tastings, and I'd had this about 10 years before, but then when we had a tasting of this, I was just like, do you know what, I actually quite like this. So this is going back to 2018, near enough, definitely 5 years, but probably 6 years since I had this. The price, I would say, it's gone up considerably since I remember. 44, and this is price drop actually. Where are we? It's not much of a price drop. It's £44.50 on Master of Malt. Normal price, £45.49. So you're saving 2.18% apparently. £1, what is it? £1.99p. That's what you're saving. So £44.50. What that translates to is 56.5 US dollars, 52 euros, 85 Australian dollars, and 76 Canadian dollars. So again, I think this should be a worldwide brand. It's Colombian rum. I've got no real knowledge because those tastings back then weren't, that insightful. They weren't knowledge bombs. They were just, taste some rum, So I've got no knowledge of this. I have heard various rumours about how Colombian rum has made. I don't want to comment either way on this. As far as I'm concerned, it's proper rum that may have been slightly sweetened. But the proof will be, we've got a saying in the UK, the proof will be in the pudding. I don't know how that translates around the world, but here we go. The proof will be in the tasting, won't it? So let's get half of this in the bottle. So there we go. 30ml drams. We've got about 15ml here. So Dictador 12. Oh, chocolatey mockery without even getting really close to the nose. Chocolatey mockery, vanilla-y. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And on closer inspection, I'm definitely sticking with that sort of, it's definitely mocha to me, but more emphasised on the coffee than the chocolate. But I have got caramel, I have got vanilla. There's a slight nuttiness to it as well. I would say, I don't know, I haven't looked at other people's sort of notes on this to see whether it has been dosed and how much it's been dosed by. But perception from the aroma is that I would say there's a little bit of sugar added to mask 12 years in a barrel. And here's another thing. I'm not 100% sure whether this is actually a proper 12-year-old rum or whether this has been Solera aged. I've got vaguely in my head that this actually may be Solera aged, so therefore the 12-year-old is not right, but don't hold me to that. Master of Malt have just got it listed straight in front of me as 12-year-old rum. If I scroll down, it might say Solera on there. No, it doesn't. I don't know where the Soleras come from, but that might, take that with a pinch of salt. I've got no facts on that at all. And actually, I take that back. If I scroll down slightly on the Master of Malt website, on the webpage, this delicious Solera rum from Dictador is aged between 8 and 14 years with an average age of 12 years. So, yes, it is Solera. It's not a 12-year-old rum. I thought I had that in my head. This rum is diluted to bottling strength with demineralized water, which adds drops over 28 days. That's something we haven't talked about for a long while. I'm not going to get involved in this. I'm just going to go on there. So, summing up the aromas, I'm definitely mocha up top, but more emphasised on the coffee than the chocolate. But there is chocolate there. and there's a nuttiness. There's a sweetness which does, for me, mask barrel age. I wouldn't be able to say that this is an old rum, a young rum. I would say it's a sweeter rum. That's where I'm going for that. But vanilla, nuttiness, carameliness. I'm not really getting anything else off that. Right, let's dive in for a taste. Do you know what? I take that all back about the sweetness. I don't know whether this has changed. I don't know whether the blend's changed. I don't know what. That is nowhere near as sweet as what I was expecting. In fact, and I know I use this rum a lot, the Plantation XO, as a benchmark. I don't think it's as sweet as Plantation XO. That's really surprised me because in my head, my perceptions, I had this down as a sweet rum. Now, so a few things I want to get across here. It's a 40% ABV rum. I did have to double check that because tasting, I would say it punches a lot higher than 40% ABV. Tasting, easily 43, maybe up at the 46s for me, of how I would sort of, my perceptions of that. But it is 40%. But don't let it's not a wood burn that I'm getting off there. It makes me think it's stronger. It's actually the alcohol. It's quite a robust rum in a good way, in a nice way. This is, I would say, definitely bitter coffee forward, like a bitter espresso, not like a luxurious espresso, but a bitter espresso. But I do like that. It's got a nice soft caramel vibe going onto it. There's a little minuscule bit of chocolate. A honey. I'm probably getting a little bit of honeyness as well. Now, this time I've kind of coated my tongue, not swilled it, not like that, but just kind of run it around my mouth a little bit. Now I get vanilla coming out. Now I get chocolate. It's still bitter coffee, bitter espresso forward, but there is a lovely sort of a dark cacao vibe to it, dark chocolate vibe. Vanilla's there. A soft hint of fruit, stone fruit, apricot-y kind of vibes going on. It's got a lovely long finish. Do you know what? I really like this rum. This is really tasty. Do you know what? I can't give you any more. They're the highlights. I'm just going to sum this up straight away. Yes, I would 100% buy that bottle. £44? What do I say? 44.50. Let's scroll back up. £44.50 in the UK. Let's go over to the other page. Let's go out there. $56. I think that's a great rum. I know it's Solera. I know certain people get a bee in the bonnet about Solera rums. I think that is, for my palate, I think that is stunning. And I would probably have that over like a Bacardi 10-year-old. And maybe even a Bacardi 8-year-old. It's not as sweet. It's not as fruit forward. It's kind of a different profile forward. I can't think of too many rums that I've got that I love sipping neat that actually give me a coffee chocolate vibe first. So I think that's quite different to rums that I've got behind it. And sweetness, yes, there's a little bit of sweetness to it, but not for me. I don't know, but my palate, I might be completely wrong here. It might be the aging that's done it. I don't know, but I would put Plantation XO as sweeter than this. I think that is a quality rum, and as I've just said, yes, I would quite happily buy a bottle of that.